Okay, how we doing, everybody? What's going on? How we doing so far? If you want to ask questions, you can click this link, or you can click the link that's in my bio. You can come up and we can have a conversation. All right. If you want to come up, you can click this link, or you can hit the link that's in my bio. Come up and we can have a conversation. Let's go through a few questions now in the meantime. All right. So the first question is how much push-ups should I be doing to lose belly fat? So push-ups is not going to help you lose belly fat. Push-ups will help you build a bigger chest, bigger arms, like bigger triceps. So doing push-ups will help you build more muscle. Now, for you to lose belly fat, you need to focus on following a diet and doing some cardio. That's what's going to help you lose belly fat. Okay, so Devin, if I was you, I would be following a high protein, low calorie diet. So basically, I'll just tell you what I would do if I was you, just to keep it as simple as possible. For breakfast, I would either do a protein shake, or I would do like 2 cups of egg whites with a side of vegetables, or maybe I would have 3 regular eggs with 4 ounces of some chicken and a side of vegetables. That'd be my breakfast. Meal number 2, I would have, for you, you're a guy, I would say 7 to 9 ounces of some chicken breast with a side salad or with a side of vegetables. And I would do the same thing for dinner. Very rarely, if I was craving like rice or carbs, I would have like a small serving of rice or carbs with one of those meals if I was absolutely craving it. And then on top of that, I would do another protein shake or a protein bar just to get in more protein. Doing that, you would be losing body fat, losing belly fat. And if you do that consistently, in about a month or two, you would definitely see a huge change. Okay. Let's see. Is weighing out your food a necessity? It is not a necessity, right? So let's say you're trying to lose body fat. If you just want to go the simplest route, then I would just have you do a protein and a vegetable for every meal. So we would stick to chicken and veggies, or steak and veggies, or fish and veggies. We wouldn't even complicate it. Now, if you want to get the best results, then you need to know how to track your calories. And for you to track your calories accurately, you have to know what you're eating. So, off your eye, you might think you're going to log in 7 ounces of chicken breast, but in reality, it might be 5 ounces or it might be 9 ounces. So if you want to be as accurate as possible, you should be weighing out your food. Okay. We have somebody that just came up. Carmen. Carmen?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited because I've been following you for a year now, and
Yes, yes.
I do have questions.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So, what's your question?
Okay, say that again.
I said, what's your question?
Okay, I was 278 pounds and in bad shape, just in really really bad shape, and so I started a weight loss journey. I didn't think I could do it because I could barely walk. So I started just getting on my bicycle, on my stationary bicycle. But anyway, I'm down 202 pounds and I have been here almost 2 months. And I don't know what else to do.
Okay. So, what did you do exactly
I,
to lose the weight?
I, well, once, I got my endurance and my stamina up, I just started working out every single day for an hour. Now I'm up to like an hour and a half. Most days I try to do twice a day. Now, and I started fasting from like 6 in the evening to 10 in the morning, and I started doing protein shakes for like. I'm not a big. Well, I guess I was a big eater, but normally I really growing up I didn't eat a lot, but the last several years I don't know, just started eating like crazy 4 and 5 times a day. And so I do like a protein shake for breakfast. I'll do a powder or either like a Premier protein. And then most of the time I don't eat lunch because I'm sleep. I work at night. So I've been having a hard time trying to figure out my when to sleep, when to eat ratio, to be honest. And
Okay.
so I'll do like I've been listening at you, and I'll do like salmon in the afternoon. I started eating broccoli, and I may do like a half a cup of rice. But I don't understand. I understand what the word deficit mean, and I understand that what you burn, you want to put out more than you take in. But like some days if I burn 3 or 4 thousand calories, I don't understand how that relates to my deficit. It is am I hurting myself if I do that? I don't know.
Okay. So, this kind of two ways we can go here. I want to go the simpler route just for right now. Then we can kind of get into the calorie deficits and all that later. So, for right now, are you tracking your calories or no?
No, not on a scale. Not on. I bought a scale. I did buy it because I didn't know to do that up until a little while ago, and so I did buy a scale, and it wasn't the simplest scale. So no,
Okay. So, you're talking about a food scale, right?
right?
All right. When I say tracking your calories, you would do that with an app like MyFitnessPal. So it's an app that you use every time you eat. You just plug in what you ate on the app.
Okay, my
All right.
fitness.
So you haven't been doing that.
No,
Okay. Now this is important just because you want to make sure that you're actually in a calorie deficit,
okay,
right? If you just are kind of eating just healthy-ish, you could be eating too many calories. So let me try to. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to try to explain this as simply as I can. Let's see. All right. You see my screen, right? The monitor.
yes,
Okay. So let's see. All right. So now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how many calories your body burns every day, and then we're going to figure out how many calories you need to eat every day in order to be losing weight.
okay,
Okay. So how old are you?
50,
All right. How tall are you?
5'2".
And right now you are what, 202?
202.
Okay. Let's go with, would you say you are moderately active?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So right now, for you to maintain your weight, this is how many calories you need to be eating. For you to lose weight, you need to be eating less calories than this every day. Okay. So
Okay.
if you want to lose half a pound a week, you need to be eating this. If you want to lose 1 pound a week, you need to be eating this. And if you want to lose 2 pounds a week, you need to be eating this. All right. Now, it's not just one day, it has to be 7 days consistently for you to hit, let's say, 2 pounds a week.
Okay.
All right. So now we know how many calories you would need to be eating every day in order to be losing 2 pounds a week. All right. Now, that's
Okay.
pretty low, 1,182 calories. Like that's pretty low. All right. Now we're going to go to MyFitnessPal. This is a good calorie tracker.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second.
I guess I thought if I was burning 4,000 calories a day, which I burn about 2,700 calories a day.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, I on my um watch, that's what it says.
Oh, those watches aren't really that accurate.
I know, but it gives you something to go on, right?
Yeah.
Or
But I don't really like going off of that. I like, so you see how when I just shared my screen, I put in that you were moderately active.
right.
I'd rather you go off of that because that's going to account for like all of that. If you go off of those watches, like I said, they're not really that accurate.
Okay. Okay.
All
Well,
right.
I work out 6 days a week. And Sundays I'm in church, but some Sundays I do work out, but I work out 6 days a week,
Yeah.
um, for an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay. I mean, all that's cool. I'm still gonna go off of like this number because 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be more accurate. And
Okay.
that's a reason that I see across the board. When you overestimate how active you think you are, that
Right.
is what leads to you being in a plateau.
Okay.
All right. So right now we know, okay, this number, well, how much weight do you want to be losing a week?
I wish I could lose 2 to 3 pounds a week.
Okay. So
I do.
according to this, right? According to the calorie calculator, you have to be eating around 1,200 calories a day.
I
Yeah.
have to eat 1,200.
Yeah, this is how much you'd have to be eating a day.
Okay.
All right. Now, we're going to plug in what you've been eating and we're going to just count up and see how much calories that's been. Now, this is also why weighing your food out is so important because if you don't weigh it out, you're not going to know what to input into this calorie tracker. All right. So
Okay.
let's say, all right. So for breakfast, you said you had Premier Protein, right? Premier Protein.
And a banana.
All right. So we're going to put the Premier Protein shake in first. All right. So this is it right here. And it's the one with 30 grams of protein, I'm guessing, right? The one that's
Yeah.
pre-made.
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to type in banana.
Yeah.
All right. So your breakfast, and that's it for breakfast.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 274. Now, what would lunch be on a typical day?
Usually I don't eat lunch because, like I said, I work nights, so I would be asleep. If I decide to eat early, it would be
Well, I want you to give me what you do on a usual basis. So if you don't eat lunch, we'll skip that. What do you eat for dinner then?
um some salmon, that Atlantic salmon.
Okay. How many salmon fillets would you say?
Two. Two.
Now, even this is not going to be that accurate. If I could go in here and say, all right, if I could pick one that said you were eating 6 ounces of salmon or 8 ounces, that would just be way more accurate because one fillet could be, it can vary so much.
I think they're 6 ounces.
Each?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 12 total. So we plug that in. And what do you have that with?
Mashed potatoes or either rice,
Let's go with the rice. How much rice?
like a cup, the instant, but it's not yellow. It's not white rice.
It doesn't matter. It's the same amount of calories, but I'll put in brown rice just because. So 1 cup of brown rice is 238 calories. All right. And what else do you have with it?
Broccoli or usually broccoli or cauliflower.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I always spell broccoli wrong. Yeah, I messed that up. Now, when you're cooking your vegetables, are you adding any oil to it?
Yes,
How much would you say?
probably I baste that salmon both sides, maybe a teaspoon each.
Okay. And that so a teaspoon or a
Maybe
tablespoon
a half a teaspoon on each side
of for the salmon.
for the salmon.
All right. What about the broccoli?
Same thing.
Okay.
Maybe
So
a teaspoon in there.
all right. So let's just say 1 tablespoon just for everything, just to kind of round
Okay.
it up.
Okay.
Now, what am I typing in the bugging? Now, if you are tracking your calories, I would just be way more specific. I'd say, okay, 1 teaspoon here, 1 tablespoon there. But just because for time's sake, I'm just kind of rounding things up.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. Anything else that you eat?
I guess I better be honest. I'll eat a pack. I know it's not good because it's so high in calorie, but a pack of peanuts.
Okay. What size pack?
They're small.
How many calories?
I think that small pack says 240.
Okay.
And my drink is usually water or Dr. Pepper Zero.
That's fine. That's 0 calories. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So if you're eating like this, like, would you say you eat like this 7 days in a row? Like nothing else extra?
Well, well, no, nothing else. I don't do bad, but I don't do 100% great. So my weaknesses is with those peanuts.
Okay. So look here, look at this number, right? So everything that you just told me, that adds up to 1,464 calories.
Okay.
So if you ate like that every single day, you'd probably be losing around, let's say, like, I want to say like 1.5 pounds a week, right?
Okay.
That's if you do that 7 days in a row, you'd be losing 1.5 pounds of body fat that week. If you have
And
more food on top of this
you could add 2 more packs of those peanuts.
a day,
Yeah, probably.
okay, so now this would have you losing about 0.5 pound a week, right? Now
Yeah.
that's 0.5 pound. So, and then you also got to take into account like weight fluctuations.
Menopause
So, say it again.
and menopause.
Yeah, well, you'll still be if you was in the calorie deficit, you'd still be dropping. I got plenty of clients that like
Really?
when I monitor my clients like calories and they are consistently in a calorie deficit, like the weight it comes off just as you would expect it to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got clients that are 40, 50, 60, 70, and they're all dropping weight as long as they are consistently in a calorie deficit. So that's what I'm saying. Like with you, when you were heavier, you were burning way more calories than you are now. Right now, since you're lighter, your body is burning fewer calories than it was before. So what got you to lose the first 70 pounds is not going to be the same diet that you follow to lose the next 40 or 50 pounds because your body, it doesn't have to work as hard to keep you alive because you're lighter. So it's using less energy.
Right.
This is why tracking your calories is just like so important. So number one, you need to know how many calories you need to eat. And then number two, you got to track things. And when you have a scale, you can say, oh, okay, this is 4 ounces of salmon. This is 100 grams of nuts. And you can plug it in here. And then you just know.
Okay.
Yeah. So with you, the biggest thing I would start with is I would make a few swaps, right? So number one, I wouldn't be cooking with any oil, right? I
Okay.
would use cooking spray instead.
Cooking
But even
spray.
with that, yeah, you got to be very careful. Just a little spritz of cooking spray just on the pan. But I wouldn't be adding it to the food because that's just unnecessary calories. Um, with the rice, I would cut that down to like half a cup of rice.
Okay.
And with the salmon, I wouldn't do the salmon every day. I would do chicken breast like 4 or 5 times a week, just because chicken breast is fewer calories.
Okay. What
Um,
about the fish?
the fish is cool. Like there are like tuna. Some people hate tilapia, but like tilapia, those are lower calorie fishes that you can use.
That's what I if I don't do the salmon, I'll do tilapia. I'll do two of the small ones.
Okay. Yeah, so and that would be better. That would be a swap I'd have you
Yeah.
make. And then these peanuts, I would do maybe like just one serving of the peanuts a day, and then maybe have like 2 bananas with the peanuts. That will be around 400 calories instead of 700 calories.
Okay. I just need to give the peanuts up like that. I don't have a weakness to like chocolate. I don't even care for chocolate. I don't like chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake. I got a weakness to these peanuts.
Yeah, look, I'm not really big on you. If you had one pack of peanuts, that's a good start. Because so it depends, right? With you, I want you to take a more flexible approach where we just making one little change. All right, we're going instead of doing 3 cups of peanuts or 3 packs of peanuts, we just going to do 1 pack and we're going to do 2 bananas. This
Okay.
way we just cut out like 400 calories instead of
Okay.
you saying I can't do no peanuts, because then what could happen is one day you're going to break and you just go eat 5 packs of peanuts. So I'd rather you do something that you can actually like commit to.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, your plan right now it's not bad. It's
It's
just
just
you got to be more intentional with actually sticking to this, and every little thing that you about to eat, you got to understand those calories, they do add up.
now. Do you think I can? Um. You know. Now. So yesterday, I I was trying to meet up with my son. So I went and I ate a burger, and I felt horrible. I still feel bad. So what can I do today? Nothing, or just not worry about it
Yeah,
because
I wouldn't even worry about that. Just today, I would just be right back on the plan. Now, that burger that you had, if you were to track the calories, you'd probably see, okay, wow, this is a lot of calories. Maybe I need to, not do that again.
I'm
But
not.
today, I don't want you to feel bad about that and then, like let it get you down. Today,
Yeah.
what I would do is get just stick to your plan, perfectly today and just from here on out. What you
Okay.
could do is you could drop your calories maybe by like 200 today and then just keep it be in a slightly lower deficit over the next like 6 or 7 days, just to kind of make up for yesterday. But I wouldn't do anything drastic like not eat for 2 days or something like that.
I don't know. I don't. I know we. I know we kind of omit, but I don't do the fast food. I don't do
Yeah,
it because, for one thing, it's not that great. So I stopped doing the fast food. I don't do any. I'm not a sweet eater, candy eater, snack eater. I just never have been. I was a Dr. Pepper fool.
yeah. And now you're doing the diet
Yeah,
Dr. Pepper, which is
and I
great
don't
because it's
do
no
a lot.
calories.
I don't even do a lot of that, but because I didn't even know I could until I started looking at your videos.
Yeah,
Because a lot of trainers and people, they don't want you to have any diet, nothing. So I didn't think I could, and I missed Dr. Pepper, but I just didn't do it. I didn't break myself, and I mean I lost weight in the beginning. It was coming out so fast. I have plateaued several times.
yeah,
And then it makes me feel bad because The scale don't move. Like I haven't gained, but I've been losing not at all or extremely, extremely slowly.
Yeah. Well, I hope this makes some sense and kind of explains the reason why. Because look, when you were heavier, your body was probably burning, let's say, 3,000 calories a day. Now you lost 70 pounds, so now your body might be burning only 2,000 calories. And another thing, when you first start doing cardio, right, it's new to your body. So your body is burning a lot of calories and it's using a lot of energy to do that cardio. Now that you've been doing it for a little while, it's easier for your body to do it despite the fact that now you're lighter. It's just easier. Your body just does it more efficiently, which means now you're going to burn less calories doing the same thing.
Do
Now
I
that,
need to change? What I do, I once I started being able to walk and I power walk,
yeah,
and I'm proud of myself because I couldn't breathe. I started this in March of 2024, and I couldn't. I was partially immobile. I was in the scooters in the stores.
yeah,
My cholesterol was over 300, so that's what made me do it, to try. And once I started being able to walk, I started walking in my neighborhood. Now I can walk up to 6 or 7 miles, in a good time frame.
that's amazing.
I power walk, and I'm so proud of myself. And then I saw this guy. His name is Jordan Rose. He has these exercise YouTube videos. So I started following him. So I do both of those things. And I bought a squat bike and I try to do like 10 minutes on there, as many as I can. I don't even count them. I just do them. So I don't like, should I do other exercises? I use
No,
the
I
little
think
the little 2 pound weights when I'm walking or when I'm in the house. I do things with them. So I thought maybe I needed to do some more exercise.
I don't think the exercise is your issue. I think right now the main thing is going to be like the food.
The food.
Yeah, if I would keep everything the same, right? The only thing that I would change is number one, I would start tracking my calories, weighing out your food so that you're tracking your calories accurately. That would be the biggest thing. And then after that, it would just be making those swaps. So, all
Okay.
right, so instead of peanuts because they're super high calories, I'm gonna start doing some fruit instead.
Oh, I
And
love fruit. I love fruit.
yeah, and track that too. Track everything. Like you should be doing around 1,500 calories a day. And look, it's gonna be easier.
That's how many I need to eat.
Yeah, for
Okay.
you to be dropping the way you want to. Well, for you to lose 2 pounds a week, it's saying you need 1,200 calories a day. I'm giving you a little bit of wiggle room, saying do 1,500. That'd
Okay.
be like maybe 1.8 pounds a week, which is not bad. So I
No.
would start there rather than trying to go all the way down to 1,200 and like be miserable. So I'd rather you start at 1,500 a day and just do that consistently. Do that for the next 2 weeks, but just every day, 1,500. Track all of your calories and just try to be as accurate as possible. At
So
first, it's going to be annoying, but
I
it's worth it.
work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I've just started doing that for the last month. And I hadn't done that in like 4 or 5 years. Prior to that, I was working like 10 to 6 or 11 to 7, and it was easier to do my diet. Now I'm having a hard time with when I should eat, when I shouldn't eat, should I make my meals when I go to work, or should I do it when I'm trying to sleep during the day. It's been all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to meal prepping, that's just something that it takes time and it's a sacrifice. So just it's gonna suck because you gotta cook your food in advance. It is something that definitely takes time. Even tracking, it takes time.
But I should probably fast during the day when I'm asleep, and do my meals at night when I go to work at 7 at night.
What time of the day are you the most hungry?
Well, I sleep from about 11 to 5 o'clock because I have to be back at work for 7 o'clock in the evening. I work 12 hours. I'm a
But
nurse.
I'm asking, what time of the day are you most hungry?
Um, Probably midday, right at the like between 2 and 4.
Okay, so let me kind of like explain why I'm asking this. So personally, I eat my first meal around 4 p.m. and I eat my last meal around like 10 or 11 p.m.
Okay.
Because I like right now it's 9:50 a.m. where I'm at. I'm not hungry, so I don't need to eat. I'm not going to eat for another like 6 hours or something like that. I'm good. So
Like,
you just want to schedule your meals around when you are the most hungry.
okay, because I'm not really a breakfast person.
Yeah. A
All
lot of people aren't. That's
that,
why they
all that
fast.
I'm not. I've never been a breakfast person, but and I can go without eating breakfast. I can go without eating lunch. I can do a one meal a day thing.
I mean, I'm not saying do all of that because you want to make sure you're getting your protein in as well too,
And
right?
I
But
am increasing my protein. Like I do have protein powder. The premier proteins, I do them sometimes because they taste a little bit better.
yeah,
But I have protein powder, and I've been doubling the protein powder in my drink, in my water, or I do unsweetened, that unsweetened lactose free milk.
okay. Yeah, I mean that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, biggest thing I say, just because I really want you to remember this, is start tracking your calories, weigh your food out so you're tracking your calories accurately, and make those food swaps that I gave you.
Okay.
All right. So instead of the peanuts, like do one pack and do a little bit of fruit. I would start there. Do that for the next 2 weeks, and you should see the weight starting to come off again.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Carmen, keep me updated.
Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
You allow people to not starve themselves and not enjoy food.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
some people will run you off because you can't eat rice.
yeah.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing all right? No complaints.
So, my question was, if I'm content with my current weight, do you have any tips for a diet plan to build muscle and burn fat simultaneously? So basically, just trying to body recomposition.
Okay. How much fat do you have to lose?
Say that
Or
again.
how much fat do you have to lose?
That I don't know, but I mean, I kind of just go based off of like my appearance and where I'm trying to get. I'll say I pretty much been working out for a while since really like 2020. Really about 2021, 2022. That's when I've been serious, and I pretty much go 5 days a week. Pretty much heavy lift, like power lift, been doing those kind of things. But I think now I'm at a point where I'm trying to become more lean, and I'm getting there, but I'm still like not where I want to be. 'Cause I still have like that little gut, still kind of have like some body fat in the chest area, but I can see the muscles like, what I'm saying? It's starting to show a little bit more, but I'm trying to get like kind of like cut, but I don't want to lose my muscle, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I got you. All right, let me you were here before when I was showing like the calorie
Yeah.
and everything. All
Uh-huh.
right, so look. So with you, let's just do this real quick. How old are you?
24,
And how tall are you?
5'6",
And how much do you weigh?
180.
All right, so this is your maintenance calories, right? So for you and what your goal is,
Mm-hmm.
I would say you want to do between here and here. So you should be trying to aim to lose like a half a pound of body fat a week or 1 pound of body fat a week, you know.
Okay.
So just pick either one of these numbers. But let's say I would just hearing you, I would say go for this. Like so go for 2,000 calories a day, right? And you want to go for 180, 185 grams of protein a day. So your workouts and everything is fine. The
Right.
fitness program you're following is fine. It's just now the meal plan. So I would be in a consistent calorie deficit that's slight, losing 1 pound of body fat a week,
Right.
getting in enough protein where you're doing like 185 grams of protein a day. And I would just do that. Um, Also monitor your weight weekly and monitor your strength. What you
Mm-hmm.
should see is like you should see your weight barely changing like
Yeah,
weekly.
that's definitely what I've been seeing. Like I know, like back when I did lose weight, I had when I first started like my fitness journey, I had like lost like 20, 30 pounds off a rip.
Yeah.
I was kind of like 220 or so. That was my heaviest. Once I started like change my whole diet, my body just started dropping weight. But ever since I got to like 180, I'm back at like my high school weight or so, and it's kind of been a lot harder to pretty much lose.
Yeah,
And I've been doing this kind of like diet planning and stuff and then working out, and I get on the scale. Sometime it go down, 3, 4 pounds, and then one day it might go back up. And then I also notice like I weigh myself after like workouts, and I can tell that I guess like my muscles are pumped. So I'll be feeling like between that and like water weight and stuff, like that also plays a part into the scale showing that I'm heavier. And then say on the weekend, those are my rest days, not doing much. I can weigh myself at the weekend and then I'm looking lighter or I feel lighter on the scale.
yeah. Okay, so like when it comes to the weight fluctuation, I wouldn't even worry too much about that. The most important thing for you is every day, right? When you're tracking your calories, you
Mm-hmm.
need to see, okay, I'm hitting 2,000 calories a day and I'm hitting 185 grams of protein a day.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what the scale is saying, I would just hit those numbers consistently. And what you should see, like in a month, you should see like visible changes in your before and after pictures. Because
Right.
when you're going for a body recomp, the scale is not going to change that much. It's going to fluctuate like crazy. The only thing you should be worried about is, did I hit my correct calorie number,
Mm-hmm.
2,000 a day, and did I get 185 grams of protein a day? Also, you should see your strength going up. Like
Right.
on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, you should be feeling stronger when you lift. Like you should
Right.
be getting stronger, lifting heavier. So
Okay, and then my question is for weekends. So weekends are really my rest days, and I usually always try to keep a cheat day in there. But I feel like obviously a cheat day, that could, I ain't gonna say it can make or break you, but it definitely could break you if you pick out too much. So what is your advice on like going about your rest days and having like a cheat day or so on the weekend?
all right. So for what your goal is, right? You have to be in a calorie, like you got to be in a calorie deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I put this? I wish I could share another screen to kind of do this math for you. What you could do is, oh yeah, matter of fact, I can. All right. Can you read this clearly?
Yo.
All right, let me just move this over for you. All right. So right here, this is good. This middle one right here.
Okay.
So what you could do is Monday through Friday, you can drop your calories to around 1,800, right? So you'll be in a bigger deficit. And on Saturday and Sunday, you can bump your calories up to 2,563. So you could follow something like this with Monday through Friday,
Okay.
just in a slightly lower calorie deficit. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The reason why this works is because if you take the average calorie deficit of this, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like as if you did 2,000 a day.
Okay, okay, I see. And I
Yeah.
would say so I've been tracking my calories and stuff using my fitness pal, and I would say roughly I'm looking at between 16, 1,800 doing that daily. The weekends is just where I'll kind of like eat a little bit more because I'm kind of eating some stuff that I wouldn't eat during the week. But like Monday through Friday is pretty strict for me because I have a busy schedule. So I have to meal prep and I work out and all of that. So I have to keep my meals like to a very minimum and all of that. So I'll just say Monday through Friday, I think I'm pretty consistent. I think it's the weekends where that can roughly vary. And I don't know if like me having a cheat day on the weekend or so is making me like, would it make it take longer for me to body recomp, if that makes sense?
If you can hit, sorry, this might sound rude, but if you just hit those numbers, you're going
Yeah.
to be good. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like Monday through Friday, if you're hitting 1,800 calories, 1,850
Yeah.
calories, Monday through Friday, on the weekends, if you can stay at 2,500 calories on Saturday, 2,500 calories on Sunday, you'll be good. You
Right.
just got to be very, like, what's the word? I'm like vigilant with actually
Yeah.
tracking your calories.
Okay.
So for you, what I would do is like, all right, let's say you about to go out on a Saturday night, Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. So my breakfast and lunch, it's going to be super lean. It's going to be a shake for breakfast, just protein powder and water for breakfast. It's going to be just chicken breast and broccoli for lunch. And this way for dinner, you could have like 1,200 calories to spare.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I would do. And then
So
I
you
would still be tracking everything. You go to a restaurant, I'm still tracking it to the best of my ability. I might even ask the waiter, like, oh, how many ounces of steak is this? And how
right.
many ounces, just to the best of your ability.
Okay. Yeah, I think that could be an issue for me because I feel like I don't necessarily like eat light in the mornings or so, and then it's like then in the evenings I'm picking out too, so I'm probably getting well over 2,500 or so calories, and then that rolls over into Monday and Tuesday when you're trying to start back on your normal diet, and it's kind of like now you're going in that never ending cycle of like what I'm
Yeah,
saying, never really
100%.
okay.
Yep. So yeah, just track it. Track your calories, man.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you.
All right, no problem. All right. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Let's see. I am going to pull up some more questions on Instagram just to see what people have been saying. It's on Instagram just to see what people have been saying. All right, let's see. Let's see. Is my Fitness Pal free to track calories? Yes, it is. Is applesauce a good snack? Yes, it is. It's very low calorie. Is it okay to eat deer meat as a protein source? Yes, it is. Do you mind please showing how to track calories as a beginner? Yeah, sure. I got you. All right. So for all the beginners that want to learn how to track their calories, basically all you have to do is here. Let me clear this for you. All right. So the two things that you need to start tracking your calories, number one is an app like MyFitnessPal, and number two is you need a food scale. Now, what you're going to do, right, when you want to start tracking your calories, let's say everything that you eat. So let's start off with breakfast. You're just going to plug it in to MyFitnessPal right before you eat it. So let's say, all right, it's breakfast time. I'm about to have, I don't know, let's say for breakfast, I'm going to have 3 eggs for breakfast. You go into MyFitnessPal where it says breakfast, you go to add food. You type in eggs. Okay. You just pick the option that makes the most sense. So we have eggs that just popped up right here. Yeah, let me zoom this in so y'all can see this. All right. You click on it. Now that's egg whites. You got eggs. It says how much. Type in 3. Add food to diary. And then bang, it adds it right here. So for breakfast, it's documenting that you had 3 eggs. And it's telling you how many calories is in those 3 eggs, how much carbs, how much fat, how much protein is in those 3 eggs you just had. So now we know for breakfast, I had 215 calories. Okay, so now let's move on to lunch. Let's say for lunch, we're going to have chicken breasts. Okay, so we got a good option right here. Chicken breast grilled skinless. So we select that. How many ounces was it? Let's say we did 8 ounces of chicken breast. So we're going to put this down to 1 ounce and we're going to go to 8. So that's 8 ounces of chicken breast. That's cooked. All right. We add that to lunch. Oh, okay. So far I had 614 calories now, but I didn't just eat chicken breast by itself. What did I have it with? I had it with some mixed veggies. And let's say for the mixed veggies, I had, let's say I had 3 cups of mixed veggies. Add that to the food diary. Okay. All right. Let's say that's all I had for lunch. So now, so far, I had 764 calories. And so far, it is 92 grams of protein. This is how you basically track your calories. Okay. So now let's do dinner as well. Let's say dinner, we had the same thing. We had 8 ounces of chicken breast and 3 cups of mixed veggies. We add that in there. Okay, so now we add 1,300 calories and we're at 165 grams of protein. All right, so now, okay, we get an update with the calories. Now, let's say I just want to do a protein shake because I want to get in some more protein. All right, so you want to type in whatever brand of protein shake that you have, right? So right here, I already have one, Protolite. This is the one that I like to use, and it is 2 scoops. You add that in as your snack. All right, so now, so far, we at 1,500 calories and 209 grams of protein. But I didn't just have Protolite by itself. No, let me add in some sugar-free almond milk. All right, so we had 2 cups or 1 cup. We add that in. Okay, so far for the day, we had around 1,600 calories, 211 grams of protein. Okay, and that's it. This is basically how you track your calories if you're a beginner. Now, this right here is literally exactly how I would eat if I was like, yo, I got to lose 30 pounds in the next 2 months. I'm trying to lose 30 pounds in the next 2 months, and I want to keep as much muscle as possible. This is how like I would eat to lose body fat very quickly while keeping as much muscle as possible. And this is something that most men can follow as well too. For women, instead of doing the 8 ounces of chicken breast, I would drop that down to 6 for lunch and dinner. All right, that'd be less protein and less calories. Now, this is something that is like very extreme, very intense. Now, if I wanted to make this a little bit more sustainable, what I would do is add a half a cup of cooked rice to my lunch and dinner. So let me show you how that would look. So we're going to type in, we're going to look for rice. Basically, everything that you eat, it keeps like history of it, so you don't got to keep searching for it. So cooked rice. So we're going to type in half a cup of cooked rice. Add that. All right, we added that to lunch. Okay, so that bumped us up to around 1,700 calories. Now we're going to do it for a dinner. A half a cup of cooked rice. All right, so now we at around 1,800 calories. So 1,800 calories, 215 grams of protein. This is still, for most men, you'd be dropping body fat pretty quickly, and this would definitely help you build some muscle while you're dropping body fat. And because you have a little touch of the rice, it's not too strict, even though this is a pretty strict plan. So that's tracking your calories 101 for beginners. That's an example of how you get it done. Okay. Let's see. Now for everybody that is looking to work with a fitness coach, because like you need a custom plan, you need some accountability, you can DM me the word coach and just fill out the application that I send you. All right. I am about to get out of here. Got to get some editing done, but peace out. If you guys have any questions, just shoot me a message.